channel. I do reading related videos, cozy game recommendations, and just cozy vlogs in this channel. And I'm really bad at intros, so I'll keep it short. So in this video, I want to start a new series, which is trying to read every book in the world. No, oh my god, trying to read books from every country in the world. And to be honest, I wanted to start this with a Turkish book because I'm from Turkey, but I'm currently living in France and I don't have any Turkish books with me. So we're gonna start with a French book, French books, French author. French literature is famous, so why not start with France? Yeah, so the first country we're doing is France. Oh my god. I probably read French books before, but like I never made a list, so I'm not sure what French books I read. I feel like this series can be a perfect way to discover new favorite books, new authors, step out of my comfort zone. So that's what inspired me to do something like this. And I'm really excited, especially to read Asian books because I love their literature so much. Okay, so the first book I chose from France is Look at the Lights, My Love by Ernaux. I've never read an Ernaux book before, and this was recommended by Gabrielle. We have a book club and I really love our book club because it's always forcing me to read books I never would pick up by myself. It sounds like an insult, but it's not. I'm like really appreciative about that. So the premise of this book is really weird. This takes place in a supermarket. It's about 90 pages long and it's almost entirely taking place in a supermarket, and I think the premise sounds really cool, so I'll probably enjoy this a lot, but Gabrielle says I'll hate it. And actually I think she knows me, so I don't know what to think, we'll see. Ernaux also won a Nobel Prize in literature, so okay, I'm gonna read the blurb on Goodreads. Recording her visits to a single superstore in Paris for over a year, Ernaux captures the world that exists within its massive walls. Culture, class, and capitalism converge, reinscribing the individual's role and rank within society while absorbing individuality. Oh my god, I thought my English was good. While absorbing individuality into the machine of mass consumerism. Through Ernaux's eyes, the superstore emerges as a great human meeting place, a spectacle, one of the few spaces where we come into direct contact with difference. She notes the unexpectedly intimate encounters between customers, how our collective desires are dictated by the daily, seasonal, and annual rhythms of the marketplace, and the ways that the built environment reveals contours of gender and race in contemporary society. Okay. That's interesting, yeah. Oh, also, the supermarket that this book takes place in is in Sarchi, which is very close to us. So we want to visit that after we read the book, and we want to hold our book club meeting there. That's so interesting. Okay, to be honest, that part makes me more excited than the book itself. Let's go!
Just tell me so I know because I'm always like when I'm alone, I'm always.
Oh, you were not visible too.
Attention, ce train desservira toutes les gares en direction de Cergy.
The famous ocean.
Yes.
Are you excited?
So excited!
Oh, they have the bird, yeah.
Top 10 must-see places in Paris. This holidays. She said it was like a lot more like traveling to their like weekly shop. Yeah. Yeah, this one's good.
I think it's just so rude that they don't have her books as a trophy somewhere. She won a Nobel Prize. Yeah. And I think it's gathering tourists. We shouldn't be the only ones. Oh, there are games.
Like in the Medusa?
Price is not much thing though. The price because she was criticizing what's happening in Bangladesh.
Hello, so I finished reading Look at the Lights, My Love, and we even had our book club meeting. We went to Ocean. I'm trying to film this before my cat goes on her crazy shift and starts attacking everything near her. I think she's gonna go on the crazy mode soon, so I'll try to hurry up a bit. So my friend Gabrielle told me I would either love or hate this book, and she said I would probably be on the hate side because I like to romanticize things, and that's not how Annie Ernaux writes at all. She doesn't romanticize everything. She gets straight to the point, very straightforward in her sentences. And I actually tried to read this in French, even though I'm A1 in French. I was actually able to understand a couple of sentences because that's how straightforward she writes. She doesn't use any complex words. And this compared with the very I don't know how to describe the book. Like this kind of writing style combined with the premise of the book, which is very slow and routine, it didn't work for me at all. Like I was very indifferent to this book, which is not a good thing to be towards a book. It didn't make me feel anything. So I rated 2 stars out of 5. I feel like I'm the odd one out because we read this as 4 friends and all of them rated it 5 stars except me. And like I would feel better if I rated it a 3.5 or a 4, but 2, I feel like I missed the point. Still, the trip was very fun. It was actually so weird they didn't have a copy of Look at the Lights, My Love in the ocean that we went to, that the book was set in. That was quite weird. Look at her. Look at her. She's planning to attack me. Please, let me film, and then you can do what you want. Deal? Deal? Okay, so for the second French book I'm going to read, I had no idea what to read, so I went on Google and I said best French books. Of course, there were the classics, The Little Prince, The Stranger, and then I saw The Count of Monte Cristo, and I was like, oh, this was on my TBR like for the last 10 years. Why didn't I even read it yet? Then I look at the page count and it's over 1,000 pages. And I'm like, okay, back you go into my TBR, because right now I'm not at the point to read a 1,000-page book because I'm already reading a 900-page book, and then I'm gonna start another 900-page book. So yeah, it's not a great moment to read The Count of Monte Cristo right now. But then I remembered I really want to read The Woman Destroyed. I really want to read this book, and this is a perfect occasion for me to read it. I'm just not sure if I should buy a physical copy or not, because I feel like I'm gonna highlight everything on it, so I might need a physical copy. But also, if I'm gonna highlight so much, the Kindle might be easier for me to highlight, because then I spend too much time highlighting. The problems of a reader. Okay, I feel like this is gonna be a 5-star book, so I'm really excited. Let's go. Sitting under a tree in the shade, I'm watching my husband and his family play football. It's the perfect moment to read, but I forgot to bring my iPad with me.
Oh, water leaf. Let's check what's inside. It's the first time I'm seeing one of these in real life, and it's full to the brim, like rows and rows of books behind as well. But they all seem to be in French, and I don't have the time to check thoroughly. Oh, hello. What if we found the woman restaurant? Could be nice. Maybe there is one copy. But yeah, I don't have time to check right now.
Hello, so I finished the first story like 2 weeks ago, but I wanted to like sleep on it because I couldn't really form my thoughts. It's not a writing style I'm very used to, so I wanted to think on it a bit. I really like how this book can put me in the mind of someone I cannot usually relate to. This book can somehow make me empathize with them, and yeah, it's weird, like they have a really similar writing style with Annie Ernaux, I think, which makes me think, are all the French books written this way? Is it just a translation, or is it just French literature? Maybe I should read one more French book after this one to really compare. But I've been making lots of annotations, as you can see. I also just started reading the second story like 10 minutes ago, and this is what I wrote on page 1. Says, I don't understand anything from the writing of this page. It's like a stream of consciousness. And then on the second page, I realize it is a stream of consciousness, and the second story is literally called The Monologue. So I'm very stupid about that. I'm really happy about the second story. I'm really excited to get into it because I've never read anything like this. Basically, we're in this woman's brain. It is literally a stream of consciousness, and I'm so excited to see how it's written. I think we'll see some messy things, some messy thoughts, because we're literally in the brain of a person. And if I understood anything about her writing style in the first story, I think Simone de Beauvoir likes to write complex and morally gray characters, but I think she likes to tackle complex characters. And I think it's really gonna be interesting to go into the brain of a complex character. Oh wow, I was right, but I didn't expect this much already. She's talking about her maid. Mariette's not coming tomorrow. Fine, I'm sick of her old father's cancer. At least I've disciplined her. She keeps more or less in her place. There are some that put on rubber gloves to do the washing up and play the lady that I cannot bear. I don't want them to be S-word either, so you find the hairs in the salad and finger marks on the door. I want them to do their jobs properly without making a fuss or telling me the story of their lives. For that you have to train them just as you have to train children to make worthwhile grown-ups out of them. This writing style, it was a bit hard to get into at first, but now I'm fully in this woman's brain. Oh, no way. No way. There is no way. I hate this. I hate this. So there is a sentence that starts with, I'm not a racist, but... And then it goes on to say really horrible things. Okay. Do you know of those lists on Instagram? Books hot girls love, or hot girl books. If you want to be a hot girl, read these books. I always see a woman destroyed on those lists, but why? Why is this considered a hot girl book? I'm done with the monologue. I really enjoyed reading this, but I had a little problem. So since this is a stream of consciousness, you have to read it like that. So when I didn't understand a sentence and I went back and read it again, I felt like it really took me out of the book, of the writing. And so I tried not to interrupt myself, even when I didn't completely understand a sentence. But then today I reread a few pages and I was like, wait, how have I not highlighted this part? This sentence is perfect. Oh my god, this is genius. And this usually happens to me for books I have read years ago. Then I go back and reread them, and then I discover so many parts that I haven't noticed before. But I literally read these pages like yesterday and I skipped so many sentences that I would usually highlight. And I think this happened because of the writing style, because I just want to keep reading and not stop the flow of the writing. And so in return, I miss many amazing sentences. By the way, I was in awe at how well written the ending of the story was. I was literally in awe. There is a phone call that lasts 2 pages long, and all I can say is I was so impressed by those 2 pages. I was so impressed. And now I'm about to start the third story, which is the story that gives the book its name, The Woman Destroyed. Oh, that's funny. This starts with a date, 13th of September, and today is literally 13th of September. Ooh. I think the third story will be my favorite. I just got to the part where we learn the plot of the story and I already love it. This story is about a woman learning that she's getting cheated by her husband of 22 years, I think. And I'm assuming we will see her trying to deal with it, but she won't be able to, judging by the name of the story, The Woman Destroyed. I think she's gonna get destroyed, which I already hate the thought of that. I'm mad. I'm fuming. I'm mad. I'm so mad. And I feel so anxious. I'm literally having trouble breathing. I feel everything this woman is going through. Hello, I changed into something more comfortable, but it's still the same day. And I'm not crying, I just yawned, just so you know. The book is not that emotional. I was only planning to read about 30 pages today, but I literally can't stop. I can't stop. This is gonna sound weird, but this book gives me the same feeling as I do when I'm reading like a psychological thriller book. Like my heart is beating super fast, I feel sick, and I can't stop, and I don't want to stop reading. Like, just wow. By the way, my mom saw my very strong reactions to reading this book, so she got curious. So now she's also reading it. Hello again. For this story, I'm doing so many updates every 20 minutes. I usually prefer to read the story and then come here and review it, but for this one, I'm doing quite a lot of updates because it's giving me so many feelings and I want to feel them out while they're still here. I didn't realize this story was way longer than the other ones. I didn't even check the page count until now because I couldn't focus on anything else other than the words. But yeah, By the way, this story is written in the form of diary entries, and at one point the woman mentions she stopped writing in her diary for a few weeks because she felt that she couldn't convey her anger, her sadness, her agony through words, no matter how hard she tried. But like I told you on a previous update, I literally feel so sad and angry reading this. Like, I constantly have to stop and take deep breaths, so I can't even imagine how horrible she actually feels if she says these diary entries are not good enough to talk about her pain. But here I am, already like having trouble breathing just reading her words. I think I'm about to finish it, so I'll try not to do any more updates until I finish it. I'll see you then. Oh, it's over? I didn't expect that kind of ending. C'est fini! Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That was possibly the best thing I ever read. Honestly, it was a masterpiece. All 3 stories in this book were excellently written, but not all of them captivated me. I, of course, tend to like something more if I can relate to it somehow or empathize with it, and so the 3rd story was like reading a horror story in a way, I guess. If I have to rank my enjoyment of the stories, I would say 3, 1, 2. But if I have to talk about the quality of writing, I would go 2, 3, 1. I loved how all 3 stories ended. I think an ending is one of the hardest parts to write because it affects how one sees the whole story. But I think all the endings she wrote enhanced the stories and added another layer to them. Especially the ending to the 3rd story made me think back on what I read and gave me a new insight. I want to talk about it, but I also want to keep this video spoiler free. Actually, I don't think this book can be spoiled, but anyway, for those who want to go into it fully blind, I will add like a timestamp here so you can skip there if you don't want even the slightest minor spoilers. So when I said the ending gave me a new insight, I mean even up until the final paragraph, I was still thinking, will the guy choose his wife or the other woman? And so I was really shocked when the story suddenly ended. I literally held on, thinking there was still hope that he might choose her and everything would go back to normal. How dumb is that? Seriously. How did I even think that? And then the story ends like bam, and you realize it was already over a long time ago from the first moment he cheated on her, but I just wanted to hold on like Monique did. So yeah, I am so impressed by this writing style, and I would say this book is a 4.25 out of 5. After I have some more time to think about it, I will post the full review on my Instagram page. Now I want to read other works of Simone de Beauvoir, and I think I now understand why they call this book Hot Girl Book. I think this is a good time to end the video. If you read this book, please let me know which story was your favorite. I was thinking of reading maybe one more book by another author, but this book having 3 different stories with 3 different writing styles made me feel like I read multiple books and I feel emotionally drained, to be honest. Let me know what your favorite French books are, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe. In the next video of this series, I'll be reading books from Turkey, which is where I'm from, so I'm really excited. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye! I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye! I scratched my nose.